Hello and welcome to the Save It for the podcast. I'm your host, Neiman, and joined with me is
Beans.
Keemstar.
God.
I don't know why.
No,
I
surprise. It's Aaron. Haha.
It is Aaron. No
Yeah.
Keemstar is here.
No Keemstars here.
Not
yet.
really sure why he decided to go with the Keemstar voice, but
I have no idea. Yeah. Oh well. Welcome to the 7th episode of the Save It for the podcast.
that is correct.
That is correct. The reason I know it's 7th isn't because I have some sort of, elephantine memory or anything like that. It's because literally all the episodes are listed on my desktop. So, I don't know if it's to stroke my ego or not, but I just keep them there and, keep them visible during the recording session.
Yeah. You can bet once we get to 69, it'll be a...
Oh, yeah, it'll be just...
very special episode.
So special.
Yeah.
Before we formally begin this episode, though, just a quick word about what's happening right now. And we will get more into detail about this in our Can of Worms episode that's going to come up on Wednesday. Yes, that's when I...
Yeah.
Funny thing is, I'm the one uploading it, and yet I still can't. I still have to remind myself to do it. Anyway, but yeah, currently it's the 31st of May, 2020, and there are protests going on all across the United States against the blatant injustice of the government. We support this movement. We believe that Black Lives Matter. And if any of our listeners are, in fact, uncomfortable listening to us after we state this, we understand. But we will not change our point of view in this. And we will speak out against injustice wherever we see it. And that's all I have to say. Neiman, do you have anything to add?
That was very well said. Very well said. Now we will be discussing, like Aaron said, more in detail. If you would like to listen to our Can of Worms episode on the issue, because it is a very complex issue, we will be recording an episode on that. And also, we would just like to say, we want to talk about it because we want to talk about it, not because it's, something
not
that
because
we're trying
it's
to...
the topic out there,
Right. It's not for clout, not for popularity or anything. It's because it's a genuine issue that needs to be addressed.
I mean, we literally are not gaining anything from recording it.
Absolutely. No monetary gain here.
Nope.
So,
still broke college students just doing a podcast. Yep. But yeah, we feel like it's something we have to talk about. Because if we don't, then, well, I mean, we are a part of the problem.
Correct. So please feel free, if you'd like to send us questions, you don't have to, but if you, have any things you want us to talk about in particular, please feel free to shoot us an email or, submit the form or anything like that.
Submit the form, do or, just like, if you're people that knows us personally, just personally shoot a message to us. I mean, and you can stay anonymous. Just putting that out there. You can choose to not stay anonymous as well, if you so wish. But if you ask about something controversial, it's not going to count against you. It's just going to be out there, and it's not even going to be connected to your name. So you don't have to worry about it unless you want it to be connected to your name, which can be arranged.
By all means.
By all means.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah,
And also remember to do pages 1 through 3 in the math textbook and read chapters 2 for tonight's homework.
Yes.
So I felt like we were like assigning everyone homework.
Yeah, I know. Like, you have to fill this form out before the end of the week, or else it's gonna count against your grade.
That's
okay,
right.
Class dismissed. All right.
There's no extra credit this quarter, so.
Have you ever heard a teacher actually say class dismissed, like in an unironic way? Now that the words actually come out of my mouth, I can't recall any time in America that I've heard a teacher say that.
You know, I feel like I've heard it once or twice. I can't say I've heard it often. But I'm sure you have heard.
Like, ironically, you know?
Yeah, ironically, of course.
You know, like, haha, class dismissed, haha, get the hell out of my side. Like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, right, with that subtext, right?
Yeah.
I personally have heard the whole the bell doesn't dismiss you, I do. Like, I've heard that unironically.
We've all heard that, honestly.
Which
and
is
we've all
so funny.
hated it. Like, what's the point of the bell then?
Right.
Which is actually, it's actually a good point. It's a good topic to talk about because the high school I went to before I moved to America, in order to, at least ease sound pollution around campus, they decided to get rid of bells entirely and just, like rely on timing and whatnot and teachers.
Interesting.
And, in some cases it worked out, averagely. We were indifferent to it because there was no bell. We were like, hey, teacher, class dismissed, yo.
Yeah.
But like in some cases, it's just like the teachers really milked the hell out of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like, oh, there's no bell, so here's one more assignment that you're gonna do in your own time and break. Yeah. So it's like, it was a mixed bag.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that seems like a recipe for a lot of, I guess questionable or very lenient time periods, just because I'm definitely that kind of person in terms of, like, I'm so bad at, like, keeping to a certain, like, time limit that I would be that kind of that teacher that would be like, wait guys, just like one more, okay, I know the bell rang.
It's the 30-minute mark or the hour mark.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's funny because when we were first talking about this podcast all those months ago, we were like, okay, we were probably going to limit it like 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes if we're stretching it. But
good times.
Yeah, that was people change,
People change. Oh gosh. That was way back when, man.
Yeah, that was like probably November.
I kind of want to talk about that story right now. I can't really remember it off the how it started, But oh gosh, I don't know. Story for another time, I guess. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Gosh, how's your car?
How's my car?
Yeah, it broke down.
Oh my gosh, you're absolutely right. That was when we hung out, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my
that
gosh,
was the second time.
Forgot.
That was the second time we hung out and talked about the podcast.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was a crazy.
Or wait, was it the first time or was it the second time?
I think that was the first time we hung out.
First time, right? Because the second time was when we went to that Mexican restaurant, El Matador. Or wait, was that the first? I'm so confused.
No, yeah. Excuse me. Oh no, I think
again.
I did it again, didn't I? Yeah.
You did it again, God.
I'm too polite. What can I say? Man, old people love me. I'm just so polite.
I swear to God, I'm gonna start wearing a mask when I'm recording a podcast with you. Even though we're even though we're half a county away, I'm still gonna wear a mask.
Yeah,
because you're
germs.
Excuse me.
Yeah, didn't you know germs are transmitted through sound? Obviously,
dude. 5G towers. Don't trust, bro. Karens were right. Anyway,
exactly. Don't
1,000 angry comments on YouTube. All right.
That's right.
Yep.
It's okay. God's taking care of all of them, right, Aaron?
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. Nothing against religion. I'm just saying,
Nothing
some people
against religion. Yeah, there you go. The power of prayer will just kiss the germs away.
That's right. That's right. Love and peace, y'all.
Love and peace, yo.
But it was the first time, I believe. Yeah.
Oh gosh. Yeah, we went to Wiener Schnitzel.
We did go to Wiener Schnitzel.
And the incarnation of Jesus decided to visit us.
He really did.
Yeah.
And
oh gosh. You know what? We're talking about it. We're talking about that story. First time we met and talked about the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
No. Wait. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to remember because I remember I told you. No, you told no. Yes, I told you that I was planning on starting a podcast, and you were like, "Yo,
no way,
yo,
yeah,
let's start
exactly.
a podcast together." And I was like, "Yo," and you were like, "Yo," and we were like, "Yo," and we started talking, and we started, joking around, like, "Oh, save it for the podcast," just like that kind of thing. And by that time, we did not know that Save It For The Podcast was going to be, the name of the podcast. We thought it was going to be something else, like, Stuff and Things or Podcast with Neiman and Aaron, unironically, bro. like
just
that kind
the podcast.
The podcast to end them all. All right. But yeah. Oh, gosh.
Seems like ages ago, doesn't it?
Yeah, it seems like ages ago because back then there was no quarantine.
Oh my gosh, you're so right.
Oh my gosh.
God, I swear to God, 2020 is going to be its whole documentary series. Documentary series. It's what it's going to be.
When all the creative students, like the movie majors and the theater majors get out of get out of quarantine, we're all just gonna, collectively make a movie about just 2020, how it sucked.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a wild one,
It's gonna be a wild one, yeah.
And I keep seeing these. I don't know what to call it, but I keep seeing these comments on TikTok. Yes, I do indeed have a TikTok. I don't post anything. I just use it for entertainment. Okay.
Gotcha.
But
TikTok has fallen out of grace, though, I think.
In terms of?
That's what I remember. It used to have like a 4.5 star rating, but now since, the entire country of India collectively decided to, crap on TikTok, which, I have nothing against. I honestly respect that.
Excuse me.
Don't you? Oh. I saw it happen.
I saw it happen. I think I caught myself as I was saying it. I was like, oh, shit. Sorry. Well, I didn't say excuse me for that one. Jeez, Neiman, what's up with you?
You know what? The rules are going all over the place, but we're not gonna work around them. We're gonna apologize, and we're gonna move on.
That's right.
Unlike some people.
Yeah, please excuse me for real this time.
Yeah, for real this time.
For realsies.
Now beg. All right.
Okay.
All right. So, oh gosh,
I don't even know,
man. I actually downloaded TikTok around like a month ago, 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And I because I'm so bad with social media, I accidentally used my real name as my username, and it was just I kind of looked at it and I was like, nope, I'm deleting this crap. And I decided to delete it. And turns out, for your account to completely delete, you have to wait a month.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, and and you can't use your like the same email you used last time in order to make a new account in the meanwhile. So it's just it's a crappy situation. I don't really want to talk about it. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's funny how TikTok, back when it first came out, like however many months, or has it been years since
I
TikTok
have
came out?
no idea. I'm gonna look that up right now.
Yeah, because I remember when TikTok first came out, it was remember it being or it was supposed to be like a whole thing of just
Right.
basically Musically, but like with duets or something like that.
Whoa.
And so people like really took like the memers really took advantage of that feature.
Yeah.
TikTok, which I thought was just so funny, and basically spawned a whole when to come out.
Oh my gosh. Okay. It became available in the United. Okay, cool. I was concerned for a second because I thought like, oh my gosh, I'm so old. No, no. Okay, so it came out in China September 2016, and then it was launched
Really?
outside of China in 2017, and then it became available in the United States after merging with Musical.ly on the 2nd of August,
Right.
2018.
Right. Okay, that sounds about right.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah.
Because there was like a whole purgatory stage of TikTok where it was just memers and just I don't want to say cringy, but they kind of were cringy.
Oh
like,
yeah,
like 8th graders trying to become internet famous overnight,
right.
like this, that,
yeah,
like that kind of stuff.
And this was right after, I think, around the time Vine also vanished. I think was around like 2018.
That
right?
was before that, I think. When did Vine die?
Die. Because that's what it did. Die.
No. It announced that it would disable uploads on October 27th, 2016.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It was a while back. Gosh, 2016 was just a crappy year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I doing in 2016? I can't even remember. I have very poor memory. I'll just say that right now.
Oh gosh, 2016, man. It really was just a crappy year.
That was our sophomore year, right?
It wasn't our sophomore year yet because
oh no, because were you still in Turkey?
Because I was still in Turkey. Yeah,
gotcha.
I moved to America on the
right.
Oh gosh,
right.
on the 28th of June, 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 2016 was just a crappy year, man. There was that whole fake coup in Turkey and whatnot,
right.
which is an entire can of worms topic on its own. Oh gosh, it's
fun times.
It's a fun times. Yeah.
Now you're here.
But yeah, now I'm here, and this is not a can of worms episode, so we gotta shake the bad vibes off.
I know. I was about to say, now you're here in America, land of the free and unoppressed.
Save it for the can of worms, there, buddy-o.
Save it for the can of worms. I'm Killer Keemstar. I really feel like doing an entire episode in just a Killer Keemstar voice.
Do it.
I think it would like strain my voice way too much, but I think it would be a challenge and a testament to my own vocal ability.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge. All right.
Yeah, it's starting to slowly become robot. The robot
Which is a
accent.
summary of my life, honestly. By the way, speaking of which,
Love
on the topic
sandwiches.
of segue to, do we have
Speaking of
any?
which,
Speaking of which, do we have any questions?
that in of itself is a great question. I don't know if we have any questions. Let me go
Whoa
check
there!
right
Don't you
now.
know that "great" as a word is copyright?
Oh no!
What have you done, Neiman? Not even Stephen Colbert is safe from "To Meet a Tiger." All
I
right.
know. We do not have any new questions this week.
Darn.
Wah, wah.
You know what that
But we'll
means.
get them.
Please give us questions, yo. All right.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. Because
Or else
we
it's gonna
like
be
answering them.
50% off your, or else it's gonna be 50% off your overall grade.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah, don't forget. There's no extra
Don't
credit,
forget.
so
No extra credit either.
yeah.
So yeah.
And you're not dismissed until we dismiss you.
Exactly. Okay? This is not optional. This is mandatory. Government mandated podcast.
Yes. You must listen to us.
You must listen.
Yeah, listen to Big Brother, all right?
Oh,
yeah,
gosh.
He's watching.
Yep. We're slowly drifting down, like, vibes-wise. Man. But going back to the topic of when we first talked about the podcast.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Feels like ages ago, yeah.
Yeah. Gosh, we went to Wiener Schnitzel, I think.
We did go to Wiener Schnitzel.
What kind of... Yeah, oh gosh. So, okay, your car was small.
Yes,
and
that is a fact.
And I'm a big man.
In many ways.
And my knees were so uncomfortable.
All people do complain about that in my car. I don't blame them.
Yeah. It's a good car, though. It's a good car. It's like really bougie, you know?
You know, it does look very bougie. My one thing about it would be exactly what you talked about, which is tall people find it miserable in there because it's just such a tiny car.
It's not miserable. It's more like, you know,
mildly uncomfortable.
It's like wearing uncomfortable shoes. You know, not uncomfortable enough to like, oh my gosh, it hurts my feet. More like, you know, I need to get to where I need to go as soon as possible just to, you know, take these shoes off because they're uncomfortable and I need to take them off.
Right.
It's like uncomfortable in that sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not a car person. Was your car's a Beetle, right?
Mini Cooper.
Mini Cooper, yeah. I mix.
Beetles are cool.
Beetles are cool, yeah. I mix up names all the time, you know.
Yeah, you and me both. I really don't have my car brands really recognized yet, which is funny because in a lot of my improv games, like for one instance, I have this one, our troupe has this one improv game that is literally listing items in a category, and the one we always get, literally every time we play this game, is cars. So I always have to remind myself what the famous car brands are, and pray to God that they're not said already, because one of the caveats of the game is that you can't repeat what someone else has already said. So you have to say something new every time. So that's what it's like. I really have to research car brands if I want to succeed.
Listen, man, we live in California. As far as I'm concerned, the only car brand here is Honda.
Yeah, Hondas, Teslas,
Hondas for the lower classes, Teslas for the upper classes.
Right, exactly.
Oh gosh,
so
disgusting. But yeah, we went to Wiener Schnitzel. And it was a sketchy neighborhood now that I'm actually
yeah. And it was just down the street of where you live.
Listen, man, don't know. No. It was just down the street, but it's like where I live is slightly less sketchy. But like, yeah. So it's like the Wiener Schnitzel was literally next to a sex shop. Like that's how sketchy
Oh,
it
that's
was.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember because, yeah,
Yeah, because we got our hot dogs and we got our like, like nip nips.
oh, that's
and,
right. And
and we
our
got
corn dogs and all
yeah,
that.
we got
Yeah.
our corn dogs and we got everything and we turned around and the first thing we see right right in front of us is just the sex shop and we kind of looked at each other and we went like, do we go in? Like what do we do?
Yeah, we're 18. We can,
Rating, we yeah, literally eat the Wiener Schnitzel
yeah,
inside the shop.
that's
Yeah.
right. And I
Oh gosh.
remember I remember that because as you said, dude, let's just go in. I tried starting my car and I was like, why isn't my car turning on?
No. But
Oh
before
God.
that, as soon as we got our food, some guy walked up to us and asked for spare change, and he literally had an open wound
He did. He did
on
have an
his
open
hand.
wound. Hmm.
Yeah, and so like he asked. I remember he asked for change. No, he didn't ask for change. He asked for anything to spare, and I kind of I kind of handed him my fries.
No, yeah. You
Yeah,
did.
and then thankfully he just went away.
Hmm.
Like yeah. Oh gosh, man, that was a stressful encounter.
It really was. Um, I mean, it was a good thing we were, in daylight,
Yeah.
because, who knows what would have happened
Who knows?
in
Who
the
knows?
nighttime.
Yeah, it was like
But
afternoon too. So like
yeah,
when your car didn't work, I was like, hmm.
and
Oh
I
gosh,
felt so bad.
I remember opening Netflix and we started watching Tintin.
Tintin, yeah.
Yeah, Tintin. Tintin, the animated movie. Gosh, I don't know why people hate that movie. I really don't. It's a good movie.
It is. I haven't seen it in a while, but
Right.
um, I do remember it being a good movie that I liked. So,
Yeah. I guess it's because they try to mix up, like the sort of comic like designs of the characters with
mm-hmm.
sort of realistic
Like real,
animations,
yeah.
and that kind of threw people off,
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Kind of uncanny valley kind of
Yeah.
thing.
But I liked it. It was good. The soundtrack was good. Hell, like the
Mm-hmm.
ship battle sequence was just amazing. So
Mm-hmm.
like yeah, I don't want to hear y'all, moaning about how it was a bad movie. It was a good movie. Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At
And I
least I.
practically grew up with Tintin, so
Oh, did you
like,
did you read the original
oh yeah, I
comics?
read the original like comic books and whatnot. I'm literally like it's literally like two of the comic books I brought with me to America, and I'm looking at them right now.
Nice. Are they
Yeah, there you
in
go.
English or are
No,
they
they're in
in?
Turkish.
Gotcha. Okay. I was
Not
wondering because
everything is in English, and not everything is the American
I'm
language, Neiman.
sorry, Aaron.
Yeah, it's like
I get well. Some people, like my sister, for example, learned a lot of her English from watching like television shows and specifically anime. Weirdly enough, anime in because the first 5 years of her life she lived in the Philippines,
right,
and so she was able to watch some programs that were in Tagalog, and some programs that were in English. So she was able to really pick up both languages that way, and of course, reading. So
right. I mean, that's kind of true for me as well, because like, we learn English as a second language over in Turkey,
right,
but it's like it's not exactly a well-oiled process, so to
right,
speak. So it's just like, no matter how good your education is, it's still going to be like, unless you go move to America yourself and learn there, it's just going to be a hard process to
yeah.
go through. So I don't want to be one of those people that are like, oh, I taught myself how to speak English.
Meh.
But that's kind of true in
Yeah, I
my
mean,
case, yeah. So it's like the the kind of sketchy part about that was I learned how to speak English like from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a whole thing. Oh
I
gosh.
mean, yeah, that honestly, the best way to learn languages is to immerse yourself.
Yeah.
That's why I really don't think language classes in high school don't, as much as I try to, they don't really capture the true
Yeah, no.
essence of a language, which, I mean, to some degree, I mean, it's one of those things that also depends on the teacher, because, the
Yeah.
Spanish teacher I did have for 2 years was really good at doing that. But at the same time, even he recognized that you really have to immerse yourself in the culture to really understand it. Because it's just even if you look at English, if you analyze like how people talk in real life versus how people talk in a classroom, it's very different. Like in terms of
Yeah.
teacher to student, a teacher has certain mannerisms and formalisms that they have to adhere by, and likewise in any other language.
Right.
So it's just like things like those, like you never really get the full picture. And for you, it was Grand Theft Auto that exposed you to English. For me, I
Yeah.
kind of interestingly enough, I listened to a lot of ASMR in Spanish, which I thought was very interesting too, because I didn't want my Spanish to just disappear, so I
Right.
started listening to
That's
ASMR in
good.
Spanish. So,
Yeah.
and the good thing too is I understand most of it if they speak it very well articulated, because again, there are bad articulators and there are good articulators in any language, right?
Yes.
um
We hit the 30-minute mark around 2 minutes ago.
whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop.
Yeah, 1 hour left to go.
Oh boy.
um but yeah, I was listening to all of these Spanish ASMRs, and it's a very good way, in my opinion. ASMR is an excellent way to not learn a language, but just keep yourself posted on the
Are you saying
or
it's
updated.
goodly?
Yes, it's a very goodly method to. Uh, English is weird. It's very weird.
It's very weird. But yeah, funny thing is, like my my English learning experience ranged all the way from Dora the Explorer to Grand Theft Auto. So it was a childhood.
Yeah, perfectly normal.
Yeah, perfectly normal. But
You
yeah, I'm
watch you
I'm
watch
glad you actually,
Dora. Oh
yeah,
yeah, go
Dora the
ahead.
Explorer. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. But yeah, I'm glad you actually brought that up because like especially this is especially true in America, but like language classes, especially those in middle school, high school, that kind of thing,
Yeah.
uh is mostly, it's mostly there, like any other class that's there, it's just a way to gain credit, not knowledge itself. And this is, like, as I said before, this is especially true in America. And like you I mean, unless you're putting in extra effort outside of school as well, and this
Right.
becomes very hard to do if you're not really passionate about learning that language,
Right.
which,
Right.
most students that are forced to learn a new language uh,
Very
is
minimal.
something they have to deal with.
Yeah.
If you're not passionate about learning this language outside of school, then it just becomes a chore. And you just,
Right.
like, you might learn like two phrases, or, you might learn how to count to 20, but you're not going to hold a conversation with a native speaker.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just a way to gain credit.
Yeah. And I think not to turn this back into the education episode we did all the way back, but
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, I think to an extent that really can be applied to a lot of
Yeah, a
classes
lot of
in
classes.
in just school in general. I think I have my own personal beliefs about education, but
Right.
I think most people can agree on the fact that, you know, a lot of the stuff you learn, you know, it again depends on the student, depends on the teacher, depends on a whole factor of things. I'm not invalidating any of those things, but I am saying that, you know, a lot of people are just motivated by just filling out the credits. And that doesn't stop in high school either. I mean, in college, I've talked to a lot of people who are, you know, just trying to take easy classes, which in my personal opinion, this is just personal opinion, I think is a waste of the money you're spending, because you are the one spending the money to, you know, afford a higher education. And if you're just using that money to, you know, just take an easy class, why are you, you know, in college in the first place? Because you're there for an education. So you should be, you know, taking classes that you actually want to take, regardless of how difficult it is, because you're paying for the money. You might as well, you know, because all classes, you know, cost the same. Or is that right? Yeah, cost the same. I don't know why
About
my English
this, I mean,
grammar.
about the same. It's
Yeah,
like,
about the same, depending on the
and by
institution.
about the same, we mean, you know, expensive.
Yeah, yes, very expensive. So, you know, but that's just my take on it.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of agree with you, but considering I go to community college and I know a bunch of
Yeah.
people who choose to, you know, go into cooking and cuisine and, you know, or kinesiology or
Yeah.
that kind of stuff, like I mean, you know what I think?
Please.
I think there's no such thing as an easy class as long as it's what you want to do. I mean, you still have to put in work and you still have to show up and you still have to, you know, like,
Mm-hmm.
not for, this is not true for every class, of course, like but like you still have to put in something to that.
Right.
And you're still, and there's still like something at the end of that path you're taking.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're just trying to, you know, spend the time in college because you're there because your parents wanted you to go there or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
then like only then and only then is it like a waste of money. But aside from that, it's like, if you're actually learning something and if you believe that it's actually going to help you in the future, then
Mm-hmm.
it's not a waste of money or time.
Yeah, you know, I do agree. I just hope most people have that kind of attitude, you
Hope.
know.
Yeah.
Hope. I hope
Hope.
most people have attitude.
I
Um,
hope most people can serve motherland.
yes.
All right.
You know what's fun?
What was that?
Um, I uh, I was recently listening to a whole bunch of major minor swaps of songs. So like for example, like the I was listening to Rasputin.
Oh
Um,
yes. Oh yes.
by the Boney M. Is that the name of the band? I can't remember.
I'm
It's like,
not. I can't remember. It's Rasputin. Everyone knows
yeah,
Rasputin.
but I
Come
was
on.
listening to it in a minor key, and it was just so funny, like hearing all of these songs, like in just their mood completely switch. It's just so funny because like or no, not minor key, major key, Rasputin in a major key.
Right.
Um, and likewise, and like for the reason I bring this up is because, you know, when we were singing, you know, the anthem, there was a version of it where they switched it to, I think, whatever, I'm not very musically talented, so I don't know which major or minor it is, but they switched it to the other one, and it's just so funny how the entire mood changes. And another example too is like the Imperial Death March, right?
Oh
They changed
yes.
that, they switched it to a major key, and instead of Luke, I'm your father, it's like, Luke, I'm your father, you know. So it was just so, it's so funny that, you know, with the mood switches.
Nice, dude. Awesome, man. It's
Sorry, that was
been
a
a
little
while,
sidetrack, but
dude. This is a podcast. Don't worry about it. But yeah, gosh, Rasputin, man. I actually know the entire, you know, uh,
all the
what's it
verses
called?
and the
No, Just Dance sequence of Rasputin.
Yeah, the whole.
So yeah. And I often like basically terrorize my friends like because we'd be like hanging out and like, you know, in between classes and whatnot, and I'd just get up and start dancing. And they not even know what's going on. You know, they'd be in their headphones listening to their own music and whatnot. All of a sudden, it just
yeah, why not?
My monkey ass starts jumping around and dancing to the Rasputin.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
I don't know. It just gives me joy to make people confused.
Yeah, you know, it's one of the greatest feelings in the world, if I do say so myself.
Excuse me.
Right? Thank you. You're so polite, Aaron.
I know, right? I should get the Nobel Peace Prize or something.
You should.
Oh. I'm just kidding. I've committed several war crimes. Anyway, so
I've committed 17 arsons. Arsons? Is that
okay? Okay, I love memes where it's just like a picture of a tiny little animal or something like that, like a cat or something, and it's just like and the writing below it, and the writing below it is just, you know, oh well, I'm off to break the Geneva Convention, or you know, like that kind. I don't know. It's just like that kind of dark humor is.
Yeah, it's very jarring, right?
Yeah. Like cathartic humor, I guess.
Yeah, you know, I do agree. I think I feel like the borders of comedy can be a whole can of worms episode on its own. But
oh no.
What? You good?
It's fine. It's fine. It's just Microsoft is just, you know, reminding me that my computer sucks. It's fine. Please continue.
Oh, Microsoft.
Microsoft, gosh darn it. Bill Gates, go back to your 5G towers. You're giving us corona.
Yeah.
Bill Gates predicted corona in 2015. What does this mean?
Darn
Deep
TED
state
Talks.
Conspiracy. Whoa.
That's right.
All right.
We're going to ban TED Talks because TED Talks predict the future.
Whoa.
It's funny because I'm in the TEDx UC Irvine group.
Oh, are you?
So
nice.
I am. We were supposed to have our TED Talk event in April, but lo and behold, Miss Rona, it was very unfortunate.
Right.
You're right in the middle of planning.
Hey, man, if you ever get the chance to make a TED Talk, you know you got to give it to him.
Ah, yes, yeah. About the history of yarn. Because that's what I'm going to talk about.
All right, but man, give us a shout out, man.
That's right. Yes, I will use the TEDx platform to advertise.
Listen, in this age of rampant capitalism, no chance for shameless self-promotion should be missed.
So true. So true.
But yeah, we're slowly approaching the 45-minute mark. Well, did you just dab? Nobody's gonna be able to see it, but he just dabbed. Everyone crucify him. All right.
Sorry, I didn't have an air horn with me, so I couldn't.
Hold on, I got you.
It's pretty good. That was a pretty good air horn impression.
Thank you. I actually experiment with that.
Did you learn it from someone or?
Something? I mean, kind of, yeah. Like,
I'm imagining a YouTube video titled "How to Air Horn with Your Mouth."
No, I just watched a Critical Role episode where Sam Riegel did like an air horn impression with his mouth, and that's all it took. That's literally all it took for me to, you know, start doing air horn impressions. And once again, terrorizing my friends. Yeah. All right.
Oh gosh, how is that going? By the way, your D&D.
My D&D, indeed. For those of you who don't know, D&D stands for Dungeons and Dragons, and it is a tabletop RPG game. which means you get to act and play with dice and
whoop, whoop.
paper. I really don't know how to, I really don't know how to describe
and
it because
power of your imagination.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, actually. Like, there's no one thing to discuss. It can literally be anything you want. Mm-hmm. Like, do you want a sci-fi setting? You got a sci-fi setting. Do you want a Victorian era setting, which is actually what I'm DMing right now? And DMing stands for Dungeon Master End, I guess? Yeah.
Yeah, no direct messaging here.
No. Whoa there.
Yeah, the Dungeon Master is not a direct messenger, all right?
Exactly. The only DM for us is our Lord and Savior, the Dungeon Master.
That's right.
Yeah. So yeah, there are players involved, and the players have characters that they play inside of a world that is created solely for the game. Mm-hmm. And who's in charge of the game? Well, I'm glad you asked. Sometimes they're called the Game Master. Sometimes they're called the Dungeon Master. And they are essentially, like, if you're in charge of your characters, they're in charge of everything else. Essentially. Like, they're in charge of the entire world, along with the NPCs, the storyline, everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Everything.
Everything. Lethal. Right on the... Alright. For the two people who actually recognize that joke, thank you.
I didn't recognize it, so I'm not a part of that group. I'm sorry.
It's from a Turkish comedian, so it's fine. Actually, now that I gotta watch it, it's from I mean, it's mostly inside jokes. So now that I think about it, Turkish comedy is just one big inside joke.
Yeah.
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 I mean, yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen any Turkish stand-up, so I couldn't comment on it other than
yeah. So, I mean, like, if you guys, and I'm talking to the audience right now, not you, Neiman. But yeah, if you guys want to check out, like, Turkish stand-up, Cem Yılmaz is a good option. And that's pronounced Cemyilmaz. Yep. I had to think about that for a second because, tiny monkey brain. Anyway, but yeah, like, he's essentially the person your mind goes to when you think, Turkish stand-up. So, yeah.
I assume they speak in Turkish.
Yes, they do. So if you want to, if you want... like an English version of it, I'm not sure if you will find it, but it's if you're learning the Turkish language, it's fun to watch. It's just fun to watch.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh gosh, wait a minute. Oh, gosh.
Okay, you have a look of concern on your face.
I do have a look of concern on my face. It's a look of concern that goes, please don't die out on me, my internet.
Ah.
Indeed.
Please don't die on me, internet. That was a made-up song.
I know.
I wish I could turn that into a song, but again, I'm not very musically talented. So
it's fine, dude. Let's do it right now. We're
gonna invent the please don't.
We're freestyling right now.
Okay, great. You want me to be the backdrop again?
No, you are the main.
Ew. You are the lead. Oh, hate being this person in musical improv. Oh,
you're the lead singer.
All right, fine.
Come on, give us your musical improv skills, Neiman. Thousands of people will watch and laugh at you on YouTube.
So true. So true. Yeah. I will go down in history as one of the greatest musical improvisers of all time.
Down in history. All right. Go. Start us off.
I have to... I didn't even do a warm-up or anything. Please don't turn off internet. We really, really like you. Internet is super cool. I hope you do not make me drool.
be true.
Yeah, that's right. That was a rhyme. Because I don't have a lot of time. I'm just gonna keep saying internet. Otherwise, you'll become a pet.
This song is offbeat.
That last comment got me. I'm sorry. That was it. I was like,
yeah, I really thought that was offbeat while tapping my. Oh gosh.
I know. I couldn't. I only heard your voice. I couldn't hear the beat, so I think that's why I was off.
Really?
I apologize.
Damn it.
Your voice was so prevalent and so like, but I appreciate that you tried doing that.
Oh my gosh, stop it.
Yeah, that's right, you're so beautiful. Oh yeah, you're so hot, Aaron.
Oh, stop, you're crushing my heart. All right, before we get into sound effects though, we hit the 50-minute mark.
Yay. Whoop whoop.
And I guess we're slowly approaching the end of the episode.
I guess we are.
So just, last minute messages, or last 10-minute messages, I guess.
Always pour the cereal first, never the milk. Let's see, what else do I have? Always remember, never brush your teeth after orange juice.
Do not. Never brush your teeth. All right.
Especially with toothpaste.
I have the feeling we're gonna get back to that, like, that song format for a while before it dies out.
Yeah, and I actually, weirdly enough, bought a musical improv soundtrack just because this.
Are you serious?
There's a whole story attached to this, but long story short, for the senior show last year, I was actually planning on doing musical improv with my improv buddies, but it ended up not really happening. Well, it sort of did. Well, what I thought was going to happen was we were going to do like actual improvised an actual improvised musical,
right?
Or like at least like an improvised musical scene. But we didn't have enough time to practice, so instead we just played, I think, Irish
drinking song.
Yeah, which was still fun.
All right.
Yeah, we should play that one of these times.
Yeah, I know.
Do a musical improv episode.
Sure. Yeah,
we're gonna do it now.
Well, not right now, please. Because I don't have any hydration with me for this episode, and I realized that
you don't have your tea?
No, I don't have my tea.
My God, what have you done?
I know, it's such a disappointment. It's such a letdown.
Yeah.
But yeah, we probably should do like a musical improv episode, or something along the just like a fun episode, just like a short fun episode.
Yeah.
I'm short in our terms, so it's like 30 minutes.
Ends up being like 45 minutes. Like, wow, that was a short episode.
Yeah, I know, right? I'll have an easy time editing this one.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh gosh. But yeah, now for my last minute remarks.
Oh please, yes, your last minute remarks.
First off, I would like to speak to anyone who's still struggling with finals right now. And, if you're listening to this in the future and, you're struggling with finals, you'll get there. It's hard. And even though you'll probably cry about 36 times, I swear to you, and I'm speaking out of experience, I think we both are, you'll get there. Okay? You just have to grit your teeth through this one, okay? And like the golden rule in this one is that it gets better. Okay?
Yes.
So just putting that out there, right? And if you're still struggling, like if you're struggling with other things such as, college apps, not being selected to the college you wanted to go to, like that kind of stuff, your future's not over. I swear to you. Like, your future is what you make it. Okay, so no matter where you go, no matter what you do, you're gonna be amazing as long as you go for excellence. Okay, that's kind of that's kind
Beautiful.
of all I wanted to say.
Beautiful.
And if you're out there protesting for our rights and for justice, Godspeed and be careful.
Yes.
Because, like,
absolutely.
And when I say be careful, I don't mean, run away at the first sign of danger. I mean, just, stay hydrated. Hygiene is important even in a protest. And don't lose momentum. And I'm going to talk about this more in the Can of Worms episode. And I'm going to compare this to the Gezi Park protests and that happened in Turkey. And yeah, I'll get to more detail in there, but considering we still have rules and, we still have rules in the podcast and we're not cops, we still have to abide by rules. So we can't get too much into politics right now, even though it's not really about politics anymore. It's about morals and justice. But it's save it for the Can of Worms episode kind of situation. So we'll see you then.
And don't forget pages 1 through 5 in the math textbook.
I swear to chapter 1. And remember to turn in your worksheet on Canvas. I don't care that the platform isn't working anymore. You just need to turn it in, okay? And don't email me. I'm not gonna accept that.
Yeah, and turn it in. We'll check your work for plagiarism. So
yeah,
please,
exactly.
Yeah.
If you have 2 words in common with any other, literary writing, it's gonna be, it's gonna be 50 points off.
Yeah, it's out. Yeah,
it's out. It's out. It's done. It's over. I have the high ground, Anakin. All right.
I have the high ground.
No. Wrong.
Oh, I have the low ground.
Nope. It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground.
I have the high ground. I have the high
ground. I have the high ground. All right.
And with that,
we still have 3 minutes. So
what?
We still have 3 minutes.
Oh God!
Oh yeah,
so close.
You know how we're gonna finish this episode
with a bang.
You have the high ground. You have the high ground, Neiman.
I do.
Start singing, Neiman.
Oh God!
Do it, Neiman.
This is torture, but I'll do it. Okay, let's see if I can come up with something jazzier. I have the high ground. The high ground. I have high.
It's over.
Ground is. Oh. I'm trying to listen to the beat.
Oh. Yeah.
I have the high ground. The ground is super high.
Yeah.
I'm watching Aaron's hands.
Do it
to make sure I'm on beat.
Snappity snap.
Ooh. I'm doing it right. Ooh. I hope there's no internet lag. Because if there's internet lag, I'm gonna lag it out.
Lag it out. Yeah, nice.
Jazzy. This has been the Cool Cats radio station.
Oh gosh,
tune in next week.
Welcome back to Radio Los Santos. All right, no.
This has been the Cool Cats Radio. Tune in next time where we talk about jazzy love.
Radio.
Coast 104.6.
Radio 8 100.1. That's the Turkish radio station.
Well, is it?
Yeah, it is. Okay. Okay. End the episode in 3 seconds. 2 seconds.
Oh my gosh.
1 second.
Oh!
Go!